Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that is very old, very collectible and very, very rare, especially in this full working condition. Now we are looking at the 1976 release by Mego Corporation from their Star Trek series of action figures and playsets. And this particular item we are looking at today is of the Star Trek Command Communications console, which is based on, loosely based on the communications center aboard the USS Enterprise. Which, of course, you know, the original series ran for 3 seasons, and there were 79 episodes produced. And the original television series aired between 1966 to 1969, and obviously, you know, it starred William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, and Nichelle Nichols, George Takei, Walter Koenig, and Scotty, what is his name? James Doohan. So they were the main stars of the and Major Barrett as Nurse Chapel, of course. They were the main stars of the original television series. Now there was 50. The running time for each episode was about 50 minutes, and like I say, it ran for 3 seasons. Now Mego, on the other hand, Mego's a company formed in 1954, and they produced a whole series of action figures. They're really the daddy of the 6-inch action figures, I would say, and they produced action figures for many popular television series throughout the 1960s and 70s, and right up to the 80s, really. Unfortunately, they went into liquidation and filed for bankruptcy in 1983. So it's a shame, really. They were in business for about 30 years, but they did actually relaunch. 2018 saw a relaunch of Mego Corporation by the son of the original owner. Okay, anyway, we've diversed. Let's get cracking back onto this particular item. So this is the Star Trek Command Communications console. And this is the box it comes in. So it says Star Trek, and it's 1976, Paramount Pictures Corporation. And it's got recommended for children over 3 years old. Command Communications console, patent pending. So this is a very early version of it. And it says battery not included. Needs one 9-volt transistor radio battery. Multicolour Phaser Light Screen. Telescoping antenna. Morse Code Indicator. Sends and receives Morse Code signals. Star Trek Twin Warp Sound. Sends and receives official warp drive sound, transmits voice and sound, and you've got the Mego Corporation logo at the bottom. If I just drop the box forward, and then we can see what's on the top, and you've got an image there of Spock, and I don't know if that's supposed to be Scotty in the background there, and it says Command Communication Console, and it says Star Trek Command Communication Console model number 51230, sends or receives with the Star Trek communicators, which are sold separately and not included, or most other standard walkie-talkies, it says there. Okay, let's just drop it forward again. And I think that, yeah, so we got the same as what was on the other side. It says Star Trek 1976 Paramount Pictures Corporation, recommended for children over 3 years old. Command Communications, sorry, I was over 5 years old, actually, not 3 years old. Command Communications console, patent pending, battery not included, needs one 9-volt transistor radio battery, multicolour phaser light screen, telescoping antenna, Morse Code Indicator, sends and receives Morse Code signals, Star Trek Twin Warp Sound, sends and receives official warp drive sound, and transmits voice and sound. And again, if I drop it back to the front again, or the bottom this time, again it says Star Trek 1976 Paramount Pictures Corporation Command Communication console, the same image of Spock and maybe Scotty, I don't know. Star Trek Command Communications console model number 51230, sends or receives with the Star Trek communicators or most other standard walkie-talkies. Okay, so that is the box. Let's just turn the box to the end. I just want to see what's on the end. So let's just put that to the end, and then we'll just zoom out and see what it shows us on the end. So it says number 51230, Star Trek 1976, Paramount Pictures Corporation. You've got an image of the command communications console there. And there's other items from Mego. So you have the tricorder, the phaser battle game, the super phaser game, and the communicators. And it says manufactured exclusive for Mego Corp, New York 10010 in Taiwan, Republic of China. Patent pending by Megotronics Far East Corp. And I believe it is exactly the same at the other end. Let's just spin it round and have a look. Yep, it's exactly the same as the other end, so I won't read it again. What I want to do now is I want to open the box and get inside it, and let's have a look at the item itself. Okay, so I've removed the item from the box, and this is what we've got. So we've got the command console sitting there, and we've got the instructions here. Let's just have a look at the instructions first here, though. So it says you've got the Star Trek logo at the very top left-hand corner. It says USS Enterprise, 1976, Paramount Pictures Corporation. Command Communications Console, model number 51230. You've got the Mego Corporation logo at the top, and it's Mego Corp, New York 110. And there's the communication console in the middle there, and it tells you what all the activities are for. So you've got the telescoping antenna, which pulls out, the amplifier station, the off-on volume switch. You got flashing lights indicate console is on. When the console is on and the antenna is fully extended, you can receive transmissions. You've got standby alert and red alert, and when the two buttons are pressed together, you get the twin warp sounds. You've got the code key, and you've got the transmit key. It says speak into amplifier station to transmit. Press transmit button down, and to stop transmission, release transmit button. Okay, so that is the instructions at the front. It says made in Taiwan, Republic of China. If you turn it over to the back, okay, so the back shows you how to replace the battery on a battery installation. Remove battery cover to replace hook cover lid under ledge and snap cover in place. Connect 9-volt battery to battery clip, then insert into space. 9-volt battery bottom of console. And it says low power communication. This transceiver is designed for short distance communication in 27 megahertz MC, that's mega whatever it is, band of the radio spectrum. When used under the regulations and rules in the Part 15 of Federal Communication Commission, no users are required to get a license or a permission. In this case, this user is prohibited from applying antennae or changing specific batteries supplied to any other types of voltage. Extract from FCC regulations and rules, Ref Part 15. The carrier of this device shall be maintained within the bank 26.965/27.255 MC. The power input to final radio stage shall not exceed 100 MW. The antenna shall consist of a single element which does not exceed 5 feet. Specification: circuitry, super regenerative circuit with 9 transistors. Transmitter section, frequency 27.125 MC, citizens band, channel 14. Power input 100 MW maximum. Oscillator, crystal controlled. Communication method, amplitude modulation. Frequency tolerance less than 0.005%. Receiver station, audio power 70 MW maximum. Antenna 8 sections, telescopic rod antenna 36.5 inches. And power supply is a 9-volt battery. Okay, so that's the instructions there. So let's just move those out the way, and let's get on with having a look at the item itself. Okay, so this is the item itself, and there is the on-off button there, and there we've got the aerial, and that extends up to quite a way, 36.5 inches it says. I won't put it all the way up. And then we've got the transmit button, the code key, the red alert, and the standby alert. And then you've got all your Morse code codes. So a dot and a dash is A, dash, dot, dot, dot is B. C is a dash, a dot, a dash, and a dot. D is a dash, a dot, dot. E is a dot, so and so on. So that's all your Morse code. It says Star Trek Command Communications console model number 51230. Okay, I think what we need to do really now is, let's just put the aerial back down because I don't want to break it. Let's turn it over. So there is the, oh, that's down the bottom there. Says FCC identification data, Star Trek Command Communications Console, model number 51230. This device complies with FCC rules with Part 15 as of date of manufacturer, which is the, it looks like the 16th of the 11th, 1976. Date of manufacturer. Okay, so let's put that down, and that's where your battery goes in there. Now, I do have a battery here, but my battery is a little bit damaged. I dropped it, and it's bent over a little bit on the side, so I can't connect it completely, but I can connect one section in, the other section I can't fully connect it. But I will put it in and see what happens. It's just, I don't know if I'm going to be able to close. Oh, I can close it. Okay, that's good. Okay, there we have it. So you can see the flashing lights behind the console. You can hear the receiving sound. Apart from when you hit that button, you're talking, and you can transmit. So obviously you need the aerial up. Let's pull that up a little bit, and you've got the code key. So if you want to send Morse code, you've got dot, dash, and you've got dash, dot, 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 which is a B, or an O is dash, 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 and so on. Red alert sound, standby alert, and the two together. And that's your code key again. And so as you press the button down, it all goes silent because you're transmitting rather than receiving. So yeah, there we are. Alert, red alert, two together. Doesn't really sound like it's making any different sounds, does it? On the instructions, let's have a look at the instructions again. You get the twin warp sounds. Press down red alert, press down standby alert. Or maybe you don't press them down. I took that as that you press them down together, but maybe you don't. I don't know. So red alert, standby alert, and twin warp sound. Oh, there we go. So that's when you press all three down together. There we go. Okay, that is the sounds the buttons make. I think the lights in the background are fantastic. The Morse code section on there is great. Transmit if anyone's receiving or using a radio on this wavelength, we could pick up the transmission. We just have to wait, and the volume goes up quite high, which is good. And so the lights in the background are fantastic, just like you get on the Starship Enterprise. Again, code key, red alert, standby, all three together, and the transmit, which makes it all go silent. Okay, fantastic. Right, let's just turn that off. As you turn it off, the lights go off. I think that's great though. The lights really do. You can have it very quiet as well if you wanted to. So you can't hear much, or you can have it very, very. If you're seeking for transmissions, you can have it very loud. Okay, great little toy from the 1970s. I mean, it is basic. It's basic electronics as we know it today. But back then, this was state-of-the-art electronic circuitry. But bear in mind, this is from 1976. So obviously, compared to today's electronics, it's very, very old and very, very basic. So don't try and compare it to today's items. But let's get some sizes. So lengthwise we are, or widthwise I should say here, we're looking at 29 centimeters long. If we measure across the widest point here, we are looking at 14 centimeters wide. And if we turn it round and just measure the height from the bottom to the top, again we're looking at 14 centimeters. And obviously we know that the aerial extends to 36.5 centimeters because it tells you that in the instructions. Now, if you had the Star Trek Mego Communicators, they also run on the same frequency, and you could transmit and receive the voice signals from those handset. Now, fortunately, we at Midas Touch do have those available on the website, but we don't have a set at hand at the moment to test against this communication console. But as everything else is working, it's all in full working condition, I'm assuming that that's going to work. You can see you got a picture of Mr. Spock there, and I don't know what that other picture is, but that is definitely Mr. Spock. Maybe that's an alien planet of some kind. And obviously you got all the Morse code there. Star Trek Command Communications, console number 51230, transmit, code key, red alert, standby alert, and the on-off button. I think there must have been a sticker there as well, which has come away during the course of the time. Remember, this is nearly, well, yeah, almost 50 years old, from 76 to 2024. Okay, how well did these items do at the time? Well, yep, Star Trek was 76, a very, very big thing, even though it hadn't been on air. They haven't made them since 1969, I think, 68, I think they finished filming. So they haven't made any episodes, but Star Trek was doing all the reruns. So the popularity increased massively. And then it wasn't long later when it was announced that the Star Trek the motion picture would go, well, there was going to be Star Trek Phase 2 first of all, but that never happened. Then they went on to Star Trek the motion picture. In between, of course, you had the animated series, which was 1973. So there was a lot going on in Star Trek. The motion picture was just about to be announced, and of course then the rest is history. But 1976 was a fairly big time for Star Trek, the original series. There was quite a lot of merchandise produced by Mego. So you had all the action figures, you had the communications, command communication center, which is what this is. You also had the communicators, which are all based on the communicators seen in Star Trek, even though they were fully working. You also had the Super Phaser Target game, which is a light beam game, which we do have also in stock and which we have short video for. And then there was the Phaser Battle game, which was an electronic game. And now that is incredibly rare. And if you find one of those, it's going to be going for a fortune. And of course, you had the tricorder, which was basically a audio cassette player. But so Mego did do quite a range of merchandise. All of it seemed to sell pretty well. The figures certainly sold exceptionally well, and you can tell that because you can still pick figures up today. There's a lot of figures that do appear on the platforms. You're generally loose. You don't really see many that are still sealed in the packet. But of course, we at Autolink have the Midas Touch have a lot of Star Trek original Mego figures from the 1970s still sealed in the packaging. But generally you don't really see an awful lot. This particular item, very rare and incredibly collectible, and over the years I've just seen these items just shoot up in price on the platforms. I can remember when I first bought mine many years ago. I bought it off a platform and I think I paid something like about 30 quid for it, fully working just like this one. Nowadays on the platforms you'd be lucky to get one for 250 quid. But there we go, that's how much the item has increased in value over the course of the just I don't know, 15-20 years. Now let's move forward to 2024, and do they appear very often? Well, the answer to that is this particular one, no. Occasionally they do come up. They do come up loose, no box, no instructions, and no inserts in the box. But finding the one like this, which is in completely working condition, has the telescopic aerial all intact, with the instructions in the original box with the inner packaging, is very rare and very difficult to find. However, we at Midas Touch have managed to find one or two of these items, and they are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website. A lot of the items are unique as well, and you won't find them on any platforms due to certain issues with copyright and so on. So there are certain items that we are unable to list on any of the platforms, and they are only available on the Midas Touch website. Not to mention that with the Midas Touch website, if you come direct, it'll always be slightly cheaper than going onto the platforms. So there's a little tip for you if you hadn't already noticed that. But all these items are available on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items and many other vintage toys, games, collectible. And there's over 10,000 products on the website currently waiting for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we are uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely sure you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful old communications center with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.